Hi guys, welcome to the video. Today we're going to swatch the second lot of the Neocolors, so the core colours, blues, greens and yellows. What am I saying? Blues, greens and... Hi again, welcome back. So yes, you can see a little bit of a blooper there for the intro. Today we are going to work in this handbook sketchbook again. So this one I got specifically for kind of plein air painting, or at least I mean, I'm not really taking it anywhere except outside, just at my house at the minute, so that yeah, but I wanted to, we're gonna kind of talk about this today. So anyway, we'll get into that. But what I'm doing right here is it's getting dirty, like taking it in and out and taking it everywhere. So I showed in the last video how I decorated another one of these, but I just wanted to kind of make this one look a little bit old, go with that kind of theme of it getting, worn and sort of tattered. And I'm just using hematite violet. I am using it almost dry brush, so there's not a lot of water in my brush, and I'm just putting it on kind of around the edges and in places to kind of make it look old. So those paintings we just flipped through, we did it in the last video in part 1, and then today we're going to sort of look at a process for these ones. Now keep in mind they're not the greatest finished artworks, but we'll kind of look at the process and we'll talk about just starting anew, kind of learning something new, and what to expect, and also kind of how to give yourself that allowance to to create and to start somewhere. So this is what we swatched last time. So we did the warm colors, the reds, yellows, orange, pinks, and the neutrals, and then today we're going to do the greens, blues and purples. So okay, so in the first video I explained that this is kind of a collection of Neocolor ones. There's 15 Neocolor ones and the rest are Neocolor 2, which means they're water soluble, and so you can wet them and sort of kind of paint with them. But okay, so the first one that we're doing here is a Neocolor 2 and it is light olive. So this next one is a Neocolor 1 and it is from the metallic range. So there is a difference kind of between just the Neocolor 1 and then the metallic ones, and I'll show you that with the violet. I've got a metallic and just a regular Neocolor 1, so they do look different. So but this is the gold, and you can see here when you burnish it, like when you're adding more and more layers with deep pressure, it does go gold, but you can see it looks kind of like just an olive green. So I actually got it not even realizing, and I actually like to use gold a lot in my work, but I didn't get it for the gold. I got it just because it looked like an olive green, and then you can see that when you don't burnish it, it actually just does look like a deep olive green. So this next one that we just did was emerald green. That was a Neocolor one. That's actually been one of my most used Neocolors at the minute. And then this one here is the bluish green. So this is a Neocolor 2. And it goes, you'll see when I wet them, it goes into a really beautiful vibrant color. And in the beginning I've been unsure of like using this color, but yeah, this week I was using it and I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so this one is a Neocolor 2, so it's water soluble, and this is the yellow green. And then the next one is the very same color, the yellow green, but it's in the non, like you can't wet it, so just the wax crayon. So this is the Neocolor 1. And yeah, it's interesting to kind of see the difference. So if you're just looking to get a couple of these, it would be interesting to get a 1 and a 2 of the similar color and kind of see how you like using each one, because I found that I got the box set of the 15 Neocolor ones and I really didn't need that many. So this one here is the Neocolor 2 and it's a lime green. It's a little bit of a softer version of the yellow green. It's probably like the yellow green with white added. And then this one is the jade green. So this is a really beautiful kind of minty green. And you can see that my swatches are getting wonkier and wonkier as well. So it's kind of difficult sometimes, like looking through the camera and trying to do it and trying to hold it still while I'm, you know, doing the swatches. But I also talked about in the last one, so this is a Neocolor 2, this is turquoise green. But I also talked about in the last one doing swatches, and I'm just looking for the lines that they can make. You can see in the last video that I broke the kind of an inch off the end, and I'm using these kind of broken edges to give me kind of a more, like a more pencil line, like not too perfect. So that one was a Neocolor 1, that was turquoise blue. And this one is also a Neocolor 1, this is cobalt blue hue. So yeah, but I am just kind of practicing, you know, the different thicknesses of lines, the different way that, you know, when you hold it a certain angle, you'll get a thicker line or a thinner line. This one here is a Neocolor 1, it's ultramarine, and this one is a Neocolor 2. This is light cobalt blue hue. This is also a really beautiful one. And it's really interesting when you're using an art supply. I think most of us have the supplies and we don't necessarily ever use them to their full potential. Like I see you know, the way other people use supplies, and it's really inspiring. Like particularly, I have a whole painting like playlist. There's like 300 videos on it, and it's just all different artists, watercolor artists, and the way they use things. So yeah, it's very, very nice to kind of look and explore your own mediums a little bit more. So we just did the periwinkle blue, and then that, which is a Neocolor 2, and then that one was the violet. That was the metallic violet. So it's a Neocolor 1, but it's the metallic range. And then this one is also a Neocolor 1, but this is violet just in the regular range. So you can see there's like a difference there in the shade. So then this one is the Neocolor 2, it's the periwinkle. And so in my last video, I talk about 5 different ways that you can use Neocolors. And some of the ways that I am using it now is kind of how it is being used like all around the art community, kind of in plein air painting. And then I'm also just trying to find my own kind of voice within that and how I actually want to use them. So it's been a little bit tricky. That one was a Neocolor 2, that was mauve. And then this one is a Neocolor 2 as well. This is purple violet. So it's kind of like, you know, watching the videos, like hopefully you're inspired, and then you can also like tweak it to become more like personal to you and how you enjoy using things and things. So this one is the last one. This is the Neocolor 2 in aubergine, which like is a deep purple, but you'll also see that it lightens up when you add the water. So it's actually really interesting to see them like this and then kind of see the water added and how that changes the pigments. So you could see a couple of times there, I wasn't sure if it was the Neocolor 1 or 2, I didn't have the names written under them yet. And yeah, you can also see that some of these, the line will disappear more than others. So some of the lighter ones you can, like, and even like that one, like the line quite easily disappears, and some of them you have to scrub it a little bit more. So I guess that would also factor into some of the colors that you may want to use. So yeah, that is the kind of whole collection there. Like I said in the last video, this has taken a couple of years to collect. It's not really like a main thing for me, so I just get one or two every now and then. So let's see, now we're going to go on some kind of exploration of with these materials and a new way to kind of use them. And you'll see that the artworks and the kind of the pages that I have done, you know, with like in this kind of video, they're not that great, and I kind of sort of debated whether or not to share them or not, because it's just kind of really a personal learning curve. So, but I think that it is interesting enough to kind of see that learning curve when someone's kind of starting from like a different place than they normally do, and then they're kind of trying new things and trying to figure out, you know, different ways to do things. So I talk about this quite a bit on the channel because I don't want you to get discouraged and stop creating and stop kind of trying. Like sometimes you do need a break, and you can kind of take a step back and you know, not pressure yourself in that way. But you know, if you're really interested in and wanting to do it, then I just highly recommend allowing yourself kind of that freedom to grow into kind of how you want to do it. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time or the first several attempts, as you'll see here. But so this page that I'm doing here was actually just supposed to be a sketch of these branches. So as you walk out the front door, there's a tree that has some really beautiful branches that are just kind of always kind of going across the entry there, and they're just really nice. I like the shapes of them, I like the movement of them. So I actually just stood out there and sketched those branches. And then kind of as I was doing it, that kind of just whole page evolved. So am I that happy with it? No, but it's just kind of how it was. So then I also looked at this little kind of moment in the backyard there. It's got like just these trees, this lush greenery that comes up over summer. I mean, it's totally gone. Like 6 weeks ago, there was just twigs there. And then suddenly it just looks like this forest that's just been there for hundreds of years. So I really love that, and I kind of was just wanting to play with the lines and the different kind of the movement and the kind of intertwined lines. So again, I was out there, I took a little bit of footage, and then I just came back in, and at this point I'm just thinking about kind of trying to experiment with using the Neocolors, and like I get very, very overwhelmed when you're like suddenly in public, like you're not sitting at your desk. I mean, even if it's just there's really no one around, but it's just like it's a whole new concept to kind of think about. And I feel like it's, as soon as I try it, I forget everything about like painting, you know, everything I know. So I am working on it, and I thought this is just a good way to start practicing that. So yeah, so I really also just like the lines. So this is like a study of more like the lines, the flourish of the line. And then I'm also just thinking about how to quickly capture like greenery, leaves and things like that. So again, these are just first attempts, and what I did like about using the Neocolors, and then I also do like just adding a little bit of an acrylic paint at the end, which is not something that I normally do, but in this kind of setting and situation, I do really enjoy it. So this is a metallic one. I've also got a couple of paint markers there. Then I also use this kind of really minty green as well. So, and I don't have like an extensive range of these things. I just have a couple of acrylic paints, and it's just been quite nice to just pull out, you know, a little bit of a colour and add that at the end. So, yeah, but what was I saying? So one of the ways that I've been really enjoying using the Neocolors is to dip them in the cup of water and then draw with them like that. So you're kind of painting and drawing at the same time, and you get some really nice line work like that. Like probably on this page, apart from the little bits of shimmer in the leaves, the actual branches are probably my favorite thing, and it's a good way to cover a lot of ground quickly. The things that I really like, once I had done these, I realized that I was going against everything I know about watercolor, which is to preserve the highlights and start with the lighter colors and then work up to the darker colors for some reason. And I guess this is just, again, like trying a new material and kind of thinking that I can build it up, because Neocolors are, you know, you can build them in a different way than watercolor. I sort of was thinking that I can do that, but and kind of anticipating doing that. Also, this is the kind of this beautiful pine tree that I just really love. So this is kind of the next point of inspiration. But what was I saying? So yeah, I was thinking that I would be building them up, so like adding lighter, brighter colors at the end. But I realized I don't really like to work that way, so I had been grabbing more darker colors to start with the leaves that were at the foreground, where I really just want to, you know, like I'll probably from now on sketch them with either the light olive or the lime green, just to make them really softer and you know, more preserved, and then I will be adding the darker colors around them. So that has taken me several attempts to kind of realize that and kind of figure that out, because the whole point of like doing these two scenes was I really liked these kind of vines with the leaves, and then they just get completely lost in the overall situation. I did try kind of building it up a little bit and putting some of the lighter colors on top, but it's just not really the same. Like you can see here, like I've picked the greenish blue Neocolor up, and I do really like the colors here. Like I like the you can see like some of, when you dip it in, some of it has the water, and then as the water you know, wears off. You get like a really sketchy kind of line, which is really nice. But yeah, I should have, for those particular leaves, because they were in the foreground, I should have used lighter colours. But one of the things that I just was really enjoying kind of doing these pages was just looking at these lines and the curves and the twists, and how the branches move, which I think is, you can see they do get quite messy when you use them like that, but yeah, it was just really enjoyable as well. So yeah, it's always something that I'm talking about on the channel, just giving yourself that allowance and that leeway to grow and to try things and to figure things out. And yeah, so I thought that probably I would show these and just kind of show that it can take quite a while to figure things out, which is just totally okay, you know. So anyway, I'm just adding a watercolor background, and you can see here how quickly the paper is drying. So that's one thing that I like about this paper when I'm out and about. It's not absorbing the color in the best way, but you can also lift it, and it does make interesting washes and, like, you know, backgrounds and things. So I do like it for that as well. One thing I did like about this page, even though the end result was a mess, I liked the color combination of these kind of green golds and the green blue and the dark green. So yeah, it's definitely not something in my usual repertoire of like color palettes, and so that's quite exciting as well and a bit different. Yeah, you can see our little dog there. She is very intently listening to all the birds and the little animals and things. We've had like rabbits and deer and all kinds. So groundhogs, yeah. So you can see like the end page is just very, but both of these I've kind of, you know, lost the beauty and the kind of delicacy of the leaves that I really wanted to capture in the first place. But that's okay, because I'm learning a lot of different things. And then like with this one, I just kind of kept layering. I was putting some pencil in there as well, and I also used the gold, like a gold marker. So and I do have a video about different golds, and I think there's a few different pens in there. This one, I like this one, but I also really just like the calligrapher ones. Yeah, so anyway, but I just used this to kind of outline a little bit here and there, kind of bring back some like a focus back to these shapes that I really enjoyed in the first place, that just got totally lost on this page. But yeah, so anyway, that was pretty much fun. Also, if you ordered a pearl painting, they should be shipping out in the next couple of days. And yeah, other than that, I will see you guys next week, next Saturday, with a video. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you then. Bye.